Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got something a little bit different for you, and that is a bullet journal plan with me for the month of November. Let's have a look at the month of October and what my design was like. So the cover page here, you've got leaves and a pumpkin, which is typical autumn, and also you've got Halloween in October, so that was my idea for this. Then you've got my monthly calendar where I put all of my important deadlines and my main tasks and to-dos. Next you've got my habit tracker and time log, and to be honest I didn't really have the time a lot of days to actually fill this in. That's why it's only half completed. Next you've got my social media and YouTube pages, and that's where I can keep a track of any important videos I want to make a note of, and just keep a track of social media stats as well. And the page after that I've got my sales and expenses, which is really important to me in helping me to run my daily business. Then straight after those I've got my weekly spreads. You can see on each day I've got tasks, and my main tasks of the week are in a corner, either the top corner or the bottom corner, and I've also got a blog post that I'm going to feature that week so that I can plan my week out and get all of my tasks done. So this is something a little different to bullet journalists that I've seen, and I always add an end of month review. That's how I can review my health, how my sales went, and then just plan next month what I can do better and what I need to forget and things like that. So let's jump into November's planning. As always, I do a monthly cover page. This just helps me getting to a creative mindset and just makes me want to plan the rest of the month as well. I always find that having a nice cover to look at when I open up my bullet journal just makes me want to actually write in it, and it's always nice to do a cover anyway, so then you know which month you're actually planning for and which month that you're in on your bullet journal. So for the design of this one I went for stars and sort of like a spacey type theme. I thought of November and I thought of fireworks, and it's getting colder and you can see lots of stars in the sky because you get nice clear nights. So that's the theme that I went for, and I just added a few star designs, shooting stars, and basically just stars hanging from the top of the page to make it look a little bit more cartoony. I really liked the layout of this one. It's quite simple, but I think it's quite effective. I then went in with a yellow Spectrum Aqua marker and highlighted some yellow stars in 2 different tones as well. So now we've got on to my monthly spread, and I always do the same layout. I always do a largish calendar with squares that I can actually write stuff in. I like to be able to put all of my important deadlines, any targets that I need to meet, and etc. on this calendar. So I like to have largish boxes that I can actually fill in with useful info. So these boxes are actually 6 by 6 squares, and they're just large enough for me to put important tasks. So if I have a deadline that I need to meet for a portrait or YouTube video deadlines, then I can put that in here. I also add a box for monthly goals, and I always make sure that I have at least one monthly goal that I can work towards each day. So for last month it was to grow YouTube and Patreon a little bit, which I absolutely smashed. This month I haven't really decided yet. As you can see, I haven't filled it in, and you'll notice throughout this plan with me that I haven't really filled out any information. That's because I like to keep that stuff quite private. I don't want to just broadcast that all over the internet what I'm up to. So on this page I actually added a few constellations. I've got a Leo constellation, which is my star sign, and then I've just got a random one as well. So next I've got my habit tracker. Now I didn't really fill this in last month. I thought I'd try again, and I thought that I would perhaps at least try my best to try and fill it in as much as possible. But I'm not going to hold myself culprit or culpable if I don't manage to fill it in or anything. On the opposite page I've got my time log, and this was quite useful to me at the beginning until I actually ran out of time to keep filling it out. It just keeps a track of all of the hours that I'm spending on certain tasks. So for instance, I will use one colour as a key for actual work, so drawing or painting. I'll use another colour for work on websites such as Etsy or other shopping outlets. I'll use another colour to track time that I'm spent on YouTube and editing. Just things like that I just want to see how much time I actually spend on things. For the habit tracker, I track things like posting on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube daily, Patreon as well, just generic things that I want to accomplish during the day. So for the time log as well, I thought it would be a good idea to add a little circle for a review so I can make a pie chart at the end of the month. That was my plan for October as well, but I didn't fill out the time log at all, hardly, so I didn't even bother filling out the review. I thought having a little review in a pie chart format would be quite eye-catching. I just like charts as well, basically. My next pages are for expenses and sales. As I said, it's really important to me that I manage to keep track of all this stuff so I can see how well I'm doing. Perhaps if I'm not making as much money as I had hoped to, then I can think of a sales plan or something to help me get that extra income. So it's really important to me to actually keep track of this kind of thing. On the sales page, I add things like what I actually want to pay myself in the month. I also add a sales plan so that I can write down different bits of information that have sparked an idea that would help me to create that extra income. I also write down if I have any contacts that I need to make to any important things like magazines, if I need to submit videos to anybody and things like that. On the next page I have a video plan. This is a bit of a different page to last month's. This is just a full page that I can actually write down video ideas, be that for YouTube, Patreon, or any kind of content that I want to create that is a video type of media. I also write down all of my social media stats, so I track my growth on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, my newsletters, and also YouTube. On the opposite side, I've got post ideas where I write down any ideas that I might have to important posts that I want to make on my social media pages. I don't really write down posts that I want to make for Instagram because I don't particularly use that platform very much, but Facebook and Patreon are my main ones, and of course I don't need a box for YouTube because that's for the video plan. So now I come to my weekly spreads, and I always make sure that I have large boxes because I often have quite a few tasks that I want to achieve during the day, and when I'm filling out these boxes I try to make sure that the tasks are small and manageable. I don't want to give myself a massive big task and write down other tasks and I don't end up getting anything done. So it's really important to me to make small tasks and make them manageable and in sort of like bite-sized pieces that I can actually get things done. I also have a section for which blog posts I'm going to feature that week, and that's important to me as well because otherwise I forget which one I'm actually going to write, and I also underneath that write a short to-do list. So we're just going through the final flick through. I was really quite pleased with this design. Just some simple stars and things that aren't really going to distract me from completing any of my works. I don't like to make a bullet journal that is really heavily designed because I tend to spend a lot of time designing the bullet journal rather than focusing on what I actually need to put in it, and I think that's what makes my bullet journal a little bit different to others. As an artist and as a person that loves organisation, I find it really important to focus on organisational aspects of bullet journaling rather than the actual design. So mine's a little simpler than most, but I think it's quite effective, and I don't always use colour and all sorts and spend a long time colouring and drawing a lot of different things. So hopefully this has inspired you to create your own type of bullet journal, perhaps in this format where you combine both business and personal purposes. As always, it's been a pleasure bringing another video for you. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on all of my social media sites so you can keep up with all the content that I am creating and releasing to you guys. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!